Is Enjoy for the first time catching me here. I'm going to talk about the grace of God, grace upon grace, because we oftentimes we miss out the grace of God that is continually working in the midst of everything, everyday life. And I just want to remind ourselves that God's grace is never stop, working in you and in me. Yes, and then I have my valor oil, give me more grounded in what I'm going to see here, because I feel personally, have you ever questioned God? And it's okay. Have you, you are in a situation where it's so hard, it's hard to accept, and then you angry with God, and then you ask God, why God, why me, and that's normal, and there's nothing to be afraid of questioning God, and because actually He likes it. He likes it that you come accidentally to ask Him. He likes it that you suddenly thought about Him. Even if you angry with Him or ask questions, He likes it. That's what His desire in a way. But also the last questions is, do you really believe in God? The God, or maybe yes, you would say, yes, I believe in Joy. I really believe in God. But the following question is that how you see really God in your own perspective. Maybe you see God, the way you feel yourself, the way your father really show you your father in your biological father. So whenever you make a mistake, you see God that He's ready to, to punish you. Although He is a just God, but I just want you to know, you cannot compare God to your own biological father. Nothing. Of course, He will discipline you because He loves you. That's what parents does, right? I don't know how you believe in God. Maybe you always have this picture of God. He's ready to pour out His anger with you because you does thing and you disobey Him and like that. And that's why, because of shame and guilt and afraid, that keeps you away from God instead of getting closer to Him. Because that's what your picture of God in your life. I want you to know that none of that, whatever it is, what kind of picture you are having, in your life right now about God, I will tell you, God is full of love, unconditional love, compassion, and forgiveness, And this grace, this is what I'm going to talk about. This grace, I've questioned God about my mother-in-law, because she's not doing well, and she's very good and she loves God. I was like, Lord, I really don't understand what is going on, and I feel my heart is breaking looking at her situation. But you know what, God, and then I asked God, why God? And you know what God says to me? Have you not noticed, Enjoy, that she is going through every single day, in spite of the fact that she is, yes, suffering with pain and suffering with illnesses, but she's still alive. She's still capable of talking, That grace, that there, I'm still working in her life. I was not leaving her alone. And when that God really seems like answering me in that way, I cried. Because in my life, go back to my previous life where I had a lot of hardship, and still I'm having a lot of, challenges in life. But then I often question God. I like to question really God. That's how I love God, and I'm confident that it's okay to question God. And then I said, Lord, why is that, Lord? Sometimes I'm questioned with anger. There was a moment in my life that I know that I've done wrong. I know that I disobeyed God. And I can still see the manifestation of His goodness and mercy in the midst. And it provoked me because I know that I was not doing well, And then I asked God, what do you really want from me? Why are you still doing good things in me? And then He just told me, because I love you. And then I said, okay, what? What next? And you love me? Because I was expecting He would just tell me, you have stopped doing this. Stop sinning. Stop disobeying me. No. He said again, I love you, period. So perhaps this is the way you see God. You are have a self resentment in your life because you've done these things and that, and then maybe the love of God disappear, perhaps, but actually not. He keep loving you. He keep loving you. And during my depression, it was really dark moment in my years living. I don't really see the light. I don't know how to live at that time. But the only thing that I was sure that God holding me. The footprints in the sand, that He's carrying me when those times that I could not actually walk by my own feet, He's holding me tight with His grace. So this is what I'm going to tell you. What is really grace? What is grace upon grace? This is inspired by Dr. Charlie Stanley. Grace, my friend, it is the kindness and goodness of God every single day, manifested towards you and me, regardless and no matter what. That has nothing to do with if you earn it or you deserve it or you merited it because you're doing great things, or you don't deserve it. We don't deserve it. And or if you are worth of receiving it, no. Nothing to do, has nothing to do, and has nothing to do with the fact that you merited it, as I said, because you deserve it. God's grace is His goodness and mercy that is giving us toward us regardless of who you are. This is the truth. Sometimes we choose the right, but the truth is, what is the truth? Grace is kindness of God given to you whether you deserve it or not, because actually we don't deserve it. We no matter how we tried, we don't deserve God's grace. But because God loves us, He gave His only begotten Son to us. He died on the cross so we might have life in abundance. And that's grace. That's grace, my friend. That's grace, God, just want to remind you, God dispenses continually His grace on you every single day and night. Do you want the proof? The proof is when you sleep at night, God provide a protection over your house, wherever you are. And then you wake up with energy and strength, vibrant, Or maybe regardless of what you're feeling, but you wake up, you have that new life. That's grace, my friend. God's grace will never stop. Even if you stop believing in Him, even if you walk away from God, God's grace will always and always be. And that's the reason why oftentimes we miss to see the grace of God, because we want our ways that God will meet us in our ways. We expected God to do the desire that we really want to, This is what I want to see. If God really have mercy on me and have grace on me, then I will have this. No, you have to remember that God's thought and mine is different, and ways and different than ours. He has the best way ever He has the best hope, future ever for you. So the reason why we miss to see the grace of God every day existingly in our lives is this. Because we have these terms that what we do every single day. We forgot what we do, what we achieve, what we accomplish, the success, and we save and secure for the future. And you know what? We forgot that you did it. We have this. It is because of God's grace. And once we focus on that we tried hard, and that's what happened, at the end of trying, you see the accomplishment that you have done, but still you feel that something's lacking, something is not working. Why? Because apart from grace, you can do nothing, even if you have all the success and accomplishment. And then you will end up scripting and grumbling in life, trying to get a little bit of peace, trying to get a little bit of joy, a little bit of happiness, and whatever. And then you will end up miserable. And then you will question God. I'm done my best I could know I needed to do, but what happened? I don't have joy. I'm worn out, and I lost everything. I lost energy and like that. Have you experienced that in your life? Because we tend to focus our own strength. But the truth is, God gives us His grace. And God never promised that life would be easy. He never promised that He will take out your pain, your struggle, because that challenge, that struggles will build you up to become more stronger. He knows that. But what He promised that His grace is sufficient enough for you each day. And His power perfects your weaknesses. That's what He promised. That's what He's promised. He's so good. He's so good, God. And in conclusion, I have it here. Start to be mindful in a simple thing. Just like today, I drove my kids to the school. I'm taking time because I have a schedule to do also here. I'm working home. I'm having an online studies and doing things. And then when we arrive in the school, wow, my youngest son forgot to bring his things, his knapsack. So what I did, I have to drive back again at home and bring that knapsack back to the school. I should have choose to more or to complain, but I said, okay, I will get it. And on the way home and on the way back, I'm thanking God that at least I'm not taking bus, I'm driving and there's no traffic. So it's okay. And you know what? When I, on the way to on the way to the school building, I met someone who's working there, and she knows my eldest son. And now she asked me, is that your son in the first grade? I said, yes. Oh, you are so blessed to have a wonderful, amazing kids. Who knows? That's the way God telling me, as a bonus. So it makes my day, Sometimes we react suddenly to what is happening. But when we pay attention to small things, to be mindful, like you have a privilege to watch your kids, to serve your kids, and to help your neighbor or whatever it is, the simple thing, start to appreciate it. Start to being thank you. Have a grateful of attitude, and choose to live joyful and have peace, because it's a matter of choice. Life. I know that sometimes we cannot choose, but how to live our life is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Having joy is a choice. Having peace is a choice. And these things, guys, these are God's gift to us. It's already in us. So again, start to be mindful in every single thing. Be notice and, observe the small things and be grateful for that. That creates the joy, And the joy that comes from the Lord, it gives you strength to complete the whole task every day. And don't forget to thank yourself for doing great things. We often not thanking ourselves. We are so good in thanking other people, but thank yourself also and be grateful for every single breath that you have and all the needs that God is meeting upon you. So I think that's all, my friend. And I pray wherever you are in your life right now, whatever you're facing right now, if you're losing someone you love, I pray for that the grace of God will abound, the greater measure that you are facing right now. So it will help you to go through with that, whatever you are going through in life. The grace of God will enable you to have joy and have peace and appreciate that, life is beautiful, my friend. Life is beautiful no matter what. So God bless you. And I love you all, and that is true. And thank you for watching.